This press release was released 7th of June 2024 and it's titled Governor Fubara's Financial Wastages on Political Expediency, Retarding Development and Deepening Poverty. The chairman and members of the Caretaker Committee of the All Progressive Congress are alarmed at the frittering away of our scarce but needed resources for our advancement by Governor Fubara's government and party, the PDP in Rivers State. 1. We have continually called the attention of the government to the reckless and mindless misapplication of our resources. Today, the reality is done on Rivers people as the sum of 19+ billion naira was approved by Governor Fubara's cabinet for the reconstruction of the demolished House of Assembly auditorium. The demolition of this relic shouldn't have happened in the first place, but it was done for political expediency that now reaps a deep hole in the treasury of our dear state. In today's economic reality, about 20 billion naira is no little funds. The destruction of the House of Assembly complex was a clear assault on democracy, which was contemplated without consideration of the economic consequences, but to placate and assuage the ego and interest of the masterminds. 2. We also sympathize with Rivers citizens as they watch effortlessly how conduits have been surreptitiously designed for the wasteful expenditure in the guise of Thanksgiving across the state that gulped over 5 billion naira. This fund, if invested in agriculture, healthcare, education, would have addressed the perennial challenges associated with that sector, but they choose to wastefully pursue a program that didn't add any value to our development agenda as a state. 3. Funding of a non-existent G60 House of Representatives opposition members led by one Honorable Gochinyere Ikenga. The promoters of this group have penetrated our state treasury with the connivance of Governor Fubara and cohorts to siphon our resources in the guise of speaking for the governor and launder his image and provide bulwark against his political opponents within and without Abuja. These are choreographed to milk our resources to their advantage and weaken our socio-economic advancement as a state. The so-called Abuja lobbyists have seized our state for their interest as Governor Fubara, his government, and party PDP have become very desperate. They have abandoned their responsibilities in Abuja and are in Government House Port Harcourt and programs to ensure that other competitors do not shortchange them in the struggle and petition for our commonwealth. Governor Fubara has remained distracted from governance as a quest for control of the treasury has become very intense, that the development of the state has taken a back seat. While other states are pushing the frontiers of their development agenda, our dear state is struggling with patronage for political buccaneers whose knees are on the neck of our treasury. As a consequence, the rejection of the attempted demolition of the State House of Assembly quarters was resisted by the State House of Assembly members, All Progressive Congress, Rivers State, leaders, stakeholders, opinion molders, and concerned citizens of the state. The proposed demolition of the newly commissioned quarters would have cost the state above 20 billion naira to rebuild. These resources ought to have been channeled to a more productive and developmental projects, thereby creating jobs, enhancing economic survival of our citizens. As the opposition party, we call on all Rivers sons, daughters, and all citizens to condemn in its entirety the wasteful mismanagement of our commonwealth. Governor Fubara ought to know that he will be held accountable for any misappropriation of our scarce resources under any guise. Thank you all, and God bless. Chibuike Ikenga, Publicity Secretary for and on behalf of the Caretaker Committee, APC, Rivers State. Now, this is a press release by the APC Rivers State on the 7th of June, 2024. Now, what is your immediate reaction to this point outlined by the APC Caretaker Committee, Rivers State? Mr. Zoe, what's your immediate reaction?
Well, Choma, thank you for that, for reading out that press release to us. First, I will appreciate, appreciate the fact that the APC is coming to realize and associate with the concept of accountability and transparency, which is what we in the Rivers Emancipation Movement are pushing in the public arena, that government should be able to be accountable. So I appreciate the fact that all the issues raised there had to do with accountability, which is very necessary in any government, irrespective of. However, you know, there's a saying that he who goes to equity must go with clean hands, okay? So in this context, the question becomes, what is the intention for coming up with such a press release? Mind you, these characters, APC is now led by Tony Okocha in Rivers State, isn't it? And Tony Okocha has been in government for some time. Why is it now that they suddenly realize there's nothing wrong in asking for accountability? But why now? Why don't you take it from the beginning when you were in government? So those are the questions to ask. So this goes to tell us that this is mere politics, and it will remain in the arena of politics. All this, I agree with him, that all these are intent to distract the governor. All these are intent. Why wouldn't they rebuild when they were initiating ideas of impeachment and all the rest, and the crisis that followed that led to the demolition of the House of Assembly? Should the governor leave the House of Assembly like that, the second institution that is responsible for the governance of the society? No. Money will be spent to take care of that. How did he come about the figure in Thanksgiving? And how is it that it's from public fund? These are information. You cannot just come to the public and make press release, claim, make allegations. You have to give us the facts. Where are the receipts? Who are the money paid to? The Thanksgiving money. Who collected the money? From whose coffer? You have to bring all this evidence. So as far as we are concerned, as far as I'm concerned, why we agree that accountability should be in government, this press release is just a mere politics, and it is also aimed to distract the governor in one way or the other.
All right. Now, let us look at 19 billion naira channeled to the renovation of or rebuilding of the River State House of Assembly complex. What do you have to say to that?
Well, I won't be able to say much on that because I don't know the budget and what has...
It was actually released.
Yes, what has generated this budget. It has to do with costs. And you know the cost of building materials this time that we are. So for a government building of that magnitude, okay, yes, why we will expect prudence in public spending, okay? I cannot stay here to say that it is much or it is less until I see the details of that, what has warranted that so amount of money into budget.
In your opinion, you are saying that 19 billion naira, we are not talking of million, Mr. Zoe, 19 billion, it's okay for rebuilding of River State House of Assembly complex?
No, that's not what I'm saying. I didn't say it's okay.
Okay.
I say I don't have the details of how that money came about, that cost came about.
I just told you the governor approved of
yes,
it. It's actually in the news.
Yes, I saw it. Yes, but
now,
but
the River
that
State House
money
of Assembly complex is what it is.
Yes.
A complex.
Yes.
A building. Correct. It is what it is.
Yes.
It's a building.
Yes.
Now, I asked you a question. Earmarking 19 billion naira to rebuild River State House of Assembly complex. What do you have to say to that?
It depends
when you're
on...
saying you have not seen the details.
Yes. It depends on what they are expecting, what kind of structure, what kind of edifice.
What kind of edifice?
I mean, somebody built... I learned in the news, somebody built a living home, 10 billion naira. So we are talking about the River State House of Assembly. Maybe it includes their resident or any other thing. But until I see the details of the cost, the budget, I will not be able to tell whether it is too much or it is less. Right. However, prudence is expected in spending government money.
Mr. Zoe, now, when you say you don't know whether it will include the residents, the River State House of Assembly complex is different from the River State House of Assembly quarters. The River State House of Assembly quarters, if you will recall, there was a time the governor visited and said he has gone to take a look. It's his property. He has gone to take a look at the property and know what needs to be done in the property. And subsequently, police barricaded the quarters, denying people access, and the letter came out to say that they barricaded that area to ensure that they want to protect the property of the state. But moving forward, I need to clarify that that particular 19 billion naira does not go into the River State House of Assembly quarters. It is clearly for the complex. And you say that you have not seen the details. It's also very important that we know that this is not 500 million. It is not 2 billion. It's not 3 billion. It's not 10 billion. It is almost 20 billion naira. That's about 7-point-something billion naira short of our monthly eternally generated revenue. And it's okay to put it into a complex. Well, I'm not saying. You know the opening of your speech, when you started speaking, you said your group, the Rivers Emancipation Movement, they stand for transparency. Hold on.
And accountability.
They stand for transparency and accountability. And in the same breath, you have now come out to say, oh, 19 billion naira may not be too much. It's just I need to see the details. I'll still hold you to your word. But then, Mr. Ugochukwu, what is your immediate reaction to this press release? Let us start with, first of all, the 19 billion naira approved by the governor for the rebuilding of the River State House of Assembly complex. Before we now go to the second point and the third point, because they mentioned 3 points here. So we'll take it point by point. Let's go to I want you to give me your immediate reaction on using 19 billion naira, almost 20 billion naira, to rebuild River State House of Assembly complex.
I don't know if the governor wants to build a White House, or maybe the governor of River State wants to make the River State House of Assembly another leg of, what do you call it, the Aso Rock. You know, this is really outrageous if you talk about the money, the monetary involvement. We don't know, like Zoe said, the letters therein, the edifice, the architectural design, or maybe you want to make it a bulletproof or fire resistant, because now you have seen that the purported bombing of the assembly or throwing of dynamite is what brought it to where it is now, that prompted the governor to call for its demolition. Though we heard that it's a partial demolition. I don't know where 19 billion will be earmarked for rebuilding a house, just a hallowed chamber. It's not even the residential quarters is not there. It will involve just some offices, you know, and maybe the office of the speaker, the deputy speaker, and the rest. So I think it's outrageous, and the APC, led by Tony Okocha in River State, is playing the politics and the opposition that we know APC for. You know, I've always posited that APC, they are coming together prior to 2014, was to grab power, and they played the opposition very well. You could remember the likes of Lai Mohammed, who was the spokesperson of the then APC, later accumulating into becoming the Information and Cultural Minister, played the opposition very well. They know how to criticize, but is the criticism of Tony Okocha now apt? And is it called for? In my own thinking, I would say no. You know, you would have tarried a while and made some findings, or better still, wait for the commencement of the state projects. If you're the fillers, or maybe you don't have the inner circle members that give you information, because you could realize that some of the memos that were presented to the president in this passing week leaked. The memo that was saying that NLC the Nigerian workers will be paid 105,000, and the memo that also talked about the reduction in tariff and all that. But they said it was passed to the president, and the one that came from Kaduso, the CBN governor, all of them leaked. That means there is people within the corridors of power who are also working for the government, get paid for the government, but are still sabotaging that particular government. So Tony Okocha will try and position one of his men to be able to have facts. You don't speculate. If you are not position leader, you must have your leg inside a given government in order to have your facts right. So you would have studied a while, see the design, the architectural structure of the building, and what is going to get into the building. Get your own experts, let them go there and estimate what that kind of building can worth. And then before you begin to criticize, we don't know what is in the minds of the governors when it comes to that particular building and the defects they want to put up. We are yet to see it, but you are marking 19 billion in a state where there is high rise of unemployment. The agriculture, yesterday in the market, a painter of Gare in River State is 4,500. Last month, I made a prediction that before this month of June runs out, that we may present 10,000 to your household, and it is to buy 2 painter of Gare, and it's heading there. Look at the Songhai farm. Look at what this 19 billion would have done in River State if you put it in the agricultural sector. Sincerely, not those political agriculturists. I mean, pump it into the SMEs. Look at some, we had in some radio stations yesterday, field reporters who said that the Maitre market along Bishop Okoye, that people are on the road trading under rain and sun. You go to the one they call town. You see people on the street, on the road trading. What is the government doing? Why not designate a particular place and sunk in this money? Build something that will generate money for the government. Build something that will take the people off the street and make them comfortable in their entrepreneurship. Because people are not waiting for government to spoon feed them. But let government provide a conducive environment for entrepreneurship and trading to strive. But no, it is not the case in River State. The governor have said he should prioritize where he wants to make his mark. This money you're talking about now, the other link road that one road that he commissioned, the 255 billion, is not the ring road now. There's one road, road that is governing about 255 billion. He said that it is tagged to the IGR. We know that the budget of River State, the illegal budget being used by the government, is 800 billion plus. So now is this 19 billion tagged to where? Is it from the IGR? Is it from the consolidated revenue? Is it from the Rivers State purse, or from the money that have been budgeted before? If the governor is bringing out this money from the state budget, was it captured in the budget? Has that assembly been put down before the budget was presented? These are the questions that I felt Tony Okocha should be asking, and not making a sagacious and political statement. No, I don't agree with Tony Okocha on this particular one. And I'm waiting for him. They said on the 12th of this month that he will be having a media party with other people. I want to see for 4 good hours. Is that day I will rate him and begin to, know if he's playing the opposition that will lift River State up, or opposition that is just beclouded by sense of maybe you want to run somebody politically aground, or you want an opposition that will reshape and reposition the governance and how things, like Zoe said, that will bring up accountability and the making sure that you follow the money and whatever the government is doing. Your duty as the opposition is to be a watchdog. to the government, and not only, you know, criticizing for criticizing sake. So Tony Okocha should tarry a while, APC in Rivers State should tarry a while, and wait for the state project to commence. It is then, only then, that we will know if 19 billion with the edifice and what we are seeing on ground is stalling, or the government should be called to answer some questions regarding a humongous amount of 90 billion that can reshape the agricultural sector, that can make the fishing industry and the waterways in Rivers State very safe, and they can also add to the subsidy of fertilizer, to giving bursary to students, and the revitalization of ailing hospitals and maternities, and the educational sector that is in comatose in Rivers State. I mean, this is a misplaced priority if the governor is bringing out a whole 19 billion for an edifice. We wait and see what this edifice is all about, whether it's another White House in Nigeria.